John Holt from the Holt Guitar Studio. Today we're going to talk about some bluegrass rhythms. So generally, bluegrass has a kind of bouncing bass line that's in both bass and the guitar does it sometimes too. So the way that we'll play the chords, it'll kind of go bass chord, bouncing back and forth. We're going to do it with a G chord and a C chord. Let's start with just the G chord. I actually have a tendency to leave this first finger off of the G chord, and this second finger just kind of lightly mutes that fifth string. That's the difference. It's very subtle, but I find it a little bit easier when doing this rhythm. So first thing you want to do is just bass chord. And so I hit the low string, the sixth string, and then like the top three strings. Bass chord, bass chord, bass chord. Just all downs, down, 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 down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you want to get used to that first, just playing. And then there's little variations we can do with that. You can do that's 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. So instead of just playing down on the top part, down up. And that sounds really cool when you're going fast. Definitely has that bluegrass feel to it. Then the next variation we can put in there is the bass actually bouncing back and forth. So this is a little tricky to do at first. The bass for the G chord, you'll play this G on the sixth string and then the D open fourth string. So you'll go bass on the sixth string, chord, fourth string D, bass, chord. So it goes back and forth. Just get used to that first. I think it's almost a little trickier in the beginning to get used to that bass line going back and forth than it is to necessarily, once you have that down, to speed it up. I mean, you know, you want to set it up in the beginning that you know you're going to want to play it faster for bluegrass and everything, but you don't want to get too out of control. In the beginning, you really want to have those bass notes defined. So don't worry about staying slow for a while. That, you know, if you can get it down slow, it'll be much easier to go faster. With this bouncing bass, you can still throw in your down up for the chord too, like. So first thing, just isolate the G chord, get used to doing some variations with that. Then the C chord, quite often you'll have G and C for some bluegrass tunes. So the C chord, same thing. First, just get used to, now your bass note is going to be on the fifth string. So just get used to bass chord, bass chord, bass chord, bass chord. And throw in your down, 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 down. Now the alternating bass for the C is going to be a little bit different. You're going to play the C. That's a fifth string, third fret here with third finger. And then you're going to move your third finger off the C to a G, third fret, sixth string. It's going to go back and forth. So you'll go, and your pick will have to move too. It'll go fifth string, sixth string, fifth string, sixth string. Same thing, get used to this first. This is a little bit tricky because you're having to move. And that variation as well. So isolate both chords first, then put them together. Like, for instance. Kind of like 4 times on each chord. So that's the best when you're just starting these sort of bluegrass rhythms, folk rhythms, bouncing the bass. You don't just hear it in bluegrass; you hear it in country, rock, folk. A lot of different styles use that kind of bouncing bass rhythm. So keep it slow at first. Keep the changes kind of slow in the beginning too. Then start to speed up from there. You can add in your metronome to help keep your tempo exactly on and everything too, and that's really helpful for picking it up from there. So that's our bluegrass rhythm.